Hello everyone, welcome to Full Moon Movies. Now this will be interesting. When people talk about vampire movies, they often think gothic castles, cloaks, and ancient curses. But John Carpenter has something else in mind. Vampires isn't elegant, it's angry. It's dust, sweat, blood, and rage wrapped up in a cowboy coat. And that's what makes it stand out in a genre that often leans too heavily on tradition. This isn't a film about romance or seduction, it's about a war. And in Carpenter's hands, that war feels personal. James Woods leads the charge as Jack Crow, a Vatican-sanctioned vampire slayer with a foul mouth and a mission he doesn't take lightly. Woods doesn't play Jack like a hero, he plays him like a soldier, battle-scarred, cynical, and just holding it together. His performance carries this rogue edge, like someone who's seen too much and stopped caring what anyone thinks. And that works, because in this world, empathy is a liability, and Jack knows it. But there are small moments, brief flickers, where his loyalty to his crew slips through the armor, enough to remind you that under all the swagger, he's a man who's lost more than he'll admit. Opposite him is Thomas Ian Griffith as Valak, the first vampire and the film's embodiment of evil. What Griffith brings to Valak isn't just menace. It's a kind of cold predatory elegance. He doesn't speak often, but when he does, it carries weight. There's something mythical about him, as though this vampire wasn't born from a bite, but pulled straight from a folkho and furry. You feel his presence every time he's on screen, not because he's loud, but because everything around him seems to go still. The dynamic between Crow and Valak is simple but effective, just like hunter versus alpha predator. But what really adds a layer to the story is the supporting characters. For example, Daniel Baldwin plays Montoya, Jack's right-hand man, and he gives the role a solid mix of sarcasm and muscle. He's the guy you want in your corner during a fight, even if he's rough around the edges. Cheryl Lee plays Katrina, a prostitute who gets bitten and starts experiencing psychic visions linked to Valak. Her transformation throughout the film adds emotional weight, even when the writing gives her limited space. And then there's Father Guto, played by Tim Guiney, a nervous priest who quickly finds himself knee-deep in vampire gore. His arc from a timid scholar to a crossbow-wielding ally is small but satisfying. Carpenter directs this with the spirit of a western. It opens not with mystery but with violence, a full-on vampire nest raid in the middle of nowhere. There's no build-up, there's no romanticizing, just bodies, tension, and grit. The desert landscapes, abandoned mortals, and lonely highways gives the movie this end-of-the-world feel. Like the vampires have already won, and the hunters are just cleaning up what's left. The cinematography leans into the shadow of harsh light, interiors are dim and claustrophobic, while exteriors feel hot and wide open, almost punishing. Carpenter's score, as always, deserves its own mention. It's heavy with guitar riffs and southern twang, reinforcing that this isn't your average horror movie. It's a vampire western, and the music lets you know that from the first note. It's moody, muscular, and at times even little mournful. Now, what's refreshing about vampires is that it doesn't pretend to be deep, but there's something in its rawness that makes it stick. It's a film about monsters, human and otherwise, and it doesn't apologize for how brutal that gets. Carpenter gives you us a world where good and evil aren't always clear, and where surviving might be the only victory you get. Now, let's talk a bit about this new 4K release of the movie. This 4K Ultra HD Collector's Edition of John Carpenter's Vampire offers fans a significantly enhanced viewing experience, both visually and audibly. This edition features a new 4K restoration from the original camera negative, presented in Dolby Vision HDR, which enriches the film's color depth and contrast. The desolate southwestern landscapes and the intense action sequences now exhibit heightened clarity and vibrancy, staying true to the film's original aesthetic. Audibly, this release includes a English DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 and 2.0 tracks, delivering robust sound quality that complements Carpenter's atmospheric scores. Now, there's also the 5.1 surround mix, offers dynamic range and the directionality, enhancing the immersive experience of the film's action sequences. In addition to the technical enhancements, the collector's edition is rich in supplementary materials that provide a deeper insight into the film's production. Now, there's audio commentary with director John Carpenter, an engaging track where Carpenter discusses the film's production themes and his approach to blending genres. Time to Kill Some Vampires features interviews with Carpenter, producer Sandy King Carpenter, and cinematographer Gary B. Gibb, offering behind-the-scenes perspectives. Jack the Vampire Slayer is another interview with James Woods, delving into his portrayal of Jack Crow and his experience working on the film. The First Vampire, an interview with Thomas Ian Griffith, discussing his role as Valak and the nuances of playing the film's central villain. And Raising the Stakes, basically it's a special effects artist Greg Nicoteros provide insights into the film's practical effects and makeup work. Pedri is another interview with actor Tim Guiney and reflecting on his character's journey and the film's themes and the original making of the featurette, a vintage look of the film's production featuring on-set footage and interviews. There's also some still gallery, a collection of behind-the-scenes photos and promotional images. Now, this comprehensive package not only revitalizes the film's presentation, but it also offers an in-depth exploration of its creation, making it a valuable addition for both longtime fans and newcomers. While John Carpenter's Vampire may not have wowed critics during its original run, it has grown into something of a cult classic, especially for fans who enjoy genre films with grit atmosphere and raw attitude. At the box office, it opened strong but didn't quite maintain momentum, eventually earning just enough to break even domestically. But through strong international sales and a successful home video run, the film found its audience, and that's where it really started to grow its legacy. The common critique is that the plot is thin and the characters' arcs are limited. That is just one slowdown after another, and some put it. And sure, if you are looking for layered storytelling or romanticized horror, now this might feel too blunt, but that's exactly what makes the film work for others. It's unapologetically lean, masculine, and brutal. It does slow down to explain itself, but it kicks in the door and gets to work. And now, with Screen Factory's beautifully remastered 4K release featuring Dolby Vision enhanced audio and a mountain of special features, the film finally gets the treatment it deserves. The grid is cleaner and the action is punchier, and the Carpenter's signature tone is more immersive than ever. For collectors, especially fans of physical media who love having director-led commentary and behind-the-scenes stories, now this edition adds value both as a technical upgrade and as a preservation of genre filmmaking. Vampire still resonates today because it reminds us the horror doesn't have to be elegant or to be effective. It can be loud, mean, and dirty, and still hit a nerve. I would say it's one of those films that feels more honest with age. Carpenter didn't try to elevate the genre, but he grounded it, gave it spurs and a shotgun, and spent it riding into the sunset. And for that, it earns its place on the shelf, preferably on a worn-out wooden one next to your other midnight favorites. Now, this movie is a must-watch.